Welcome to There Is a Better Podcast, episode number 40 today. Real exciting stuff. Getting over the hill, I guess, is what we are calling it. I don't know.
Episode 40, when you hit the hill?
Yeah. There Is a Better Podcast. This is the show about everything and nothing all at once with the goal of bringing you at least a little bit of humor to your day. We're hoping anyway. But one way or the other, whether you like us, whether you love us, or whether you hate us, we are proof that there is a better podcast. My name's D-Lo.
I'm Tony. Hey, question. Go ahead. Oh.
Hi. I'm back. I'm so excited to be back.
Welcome back.
I'm well. I'm among the living.
All right.
It's exciting.
It's Guesty on the other end there. And Guesty, where can, should I go by Guesty?
No.
Or are we ready to announce it yet?
Let's do it.
Ready, drum roll.
It's Sarah. Hi.
Hey.
Yeah. Long-time listeners.
First-time callers.
Newer is Guesty. She is now officially Sarah. I am D-Lo. I used to be somebody else too. One way or the other, if you want to email us and lambaste us for being so stupid and weird, you can do that. How, Sarah?
Yes, at thereisabetterpodcast@gmail.com.
And, of course, if you want to hit us up on the twat.
Whoa!
Sorry, the Twitter.
You can hit yourself on the twat. I'm not going there. Oh, I mean, some people pay for that, though.
Well, how would they do that, Tony?
They would go to There Is a Better, and then the number 1.
I appreciate you not asking me to follow that up. Hit you on your what?
Nope. Finally, if you want to get us
on the twat.
If you want to get us on the Tigra, you can get us at There Is a Better Podcast. All right, coming up in today's episode, we have got TV and movie reboots. Trying to figure out if they're a good idea or if people are just being damn lazy. We've got Are You Not Entertained? As well as a little bit of chat about Groundhog Day. Because that's just coming up.
That is coming up.
What?
So fast.
Tuesday? Wednesday? Wednesday.
You are
Groundhog
correct.
Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
For anybody that is not in Canada or the States, we'll explain to you what the Groundhog Day is. And finally, we've got our better recommendation coming up to you today by Sarah. But first, as always, trying to expand your knowledge, your word ability, and your word vocabulary. Today's episode is brought to you by the word.
Oh, that's my fault.
He's like managing all the things.
Yeah, he's
sanguine.
There
sanguine.
Okay. Sanguine.
Sanguine.
Rhymes with
sanguine.
Penguin. Yeah,
sanguine.
I'll do that again, just a bunch of times. This is going to be the next hour.
I was just thinking.
I want to read the def.
Sanguine.
Well, you
Go
should.
ahead.
All right.
I dare
This
you.
is an adjective.
Sanguine.
Are you done?
Sanguine.
Are you done? Sarah's had it. Okay. Okay.
Sanguine.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And we're only drinking coffee today.
It's just like real life, Tony.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is.
I thought I was always in real life, Tony.
No, you are not always.
He's at
real life,
100
Tony.
today.
You're right. I'm usually like more
Cartoon figure.
morbidly obese.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an adjective, and the definition is optimistic or positive,
Sanguine.
especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation.
Is this an apparently
Which I
bad or
feel
difficult
like-
situation?
Sanguine.
No. I feel like as I missed the first 2 eps of the year due to a very bad or difficult situation, we were all at home with COVID and it ran through the house.
And were you sanguine through the whole entire thing or what? Did you keep yourself
Sanguine.
upbeat, happy, positive?
Did you say sanguine?
I did
like
towards the end because as much as I thought it was going to be like you've been hearing about this for 18 months, right?
Right.
And it's terrifying, and you think you don't know what to expect, and then
Right.
Again, you guys shared that I was we did the vaccine, we were boosted. I had a cold or had a cough that was terrible for about a day and a half, and then after that. That was it. And then it turned into cold symptoms. So it could have been so much worse. It was terrifying, but at the same time, everybody came out through it.
I feel like we need to share the message that you gave us.
Yeah. So. In between. Yeah. So.
Okay.
In between the first and second half of our the first episode, I think it was the first episode. We were fucking around, and we sent Sarah a video, and this is what she responded via iMessage. And it was very kind of her.
You guys look like you're having too much
fun.
My fun got cut off.
Fun. There was no fun happening in that.
The cough took over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anybody else I talked to that day, I either had to whisper or I just texted. And that includes people in my own home because I couldn't get words out in a string because it would catch at the breath would get caught in the back of my throat. And then all of a sudden, like I would just go into like a coughing fit. It was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you did not seem like
you're having too much.
Yeah, there it is.
You guys,
you couldn't even say fun. It's just too much.
And we don't want to like go through the whole thing again, but I was kind of, I'm not going to say amazed. It was just one of those things where I knew you were already vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it was kind of surprising, I guess.
Oh, so this was the other thing I shared via text to you guys, and
yes, and that's where I was hoping
I
you'd
knew
go
where
with
you
this.
were going.
Go ahead, share away.
No.
Okay. So, long story short, I'll abbreviate this as best I can, but went to the urgent care. They gave me the test, the rapid test.
Could you read this as news?
To the urgent care. So, to my surprise, I had tested positive for COVID when everybody in my home had tested positive for strep, but they never tested for COVID when we took him to urgent care. So that was weird.
That is crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy.
Because the kid had just gone back to school and they didn't think to test him for COVID.
No.
So now your son, when they originally tested it, did they actually say he's got strep, this is not COVID? Or was that like separate from the COVID?
Didn't even address COVID as a possibility. Saw that he had the symptoms of strep because of the throat and just went with that straight into antibiotic. Never even tested, never even asked about COVID, and had been back to school because we were on break that week, and had a fever earlier that week for 2 days straight, low grade. So nothing over 100, took him to the urgent care. They set him all up. They had sent him home with that. I thought that's what I had.
Sounds like normal strep. Yeah.
I thought that's what I had. I went into urgent care that next weekend because I had low-grade fever, and I thought I had strep. And they looked at me and they said, let's test you for COVID. I said, okay. And so they did. And then she comes back like 3 minutes later, stands way back from me in the room with the face shield and all the things.
Hazmat.
All the things, like a hazmat, like a full-on hazmat bodysuit. And
Hazmat will travel.
And she
Sanguine.
she says, "Yep, you tested positive." And I said, "Well, okay." I said, "Well, my son has strep. Do you want to test me for that?" Nope. Just go home. It's over the counter stuff. Get comfortable. And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm just really confused because, like, I've been boosted. I've vaccinated." She's like, she literally said, "That's nice. It's really just gonna." Yeah, it's really just going to help kind of have less symptoms.
I think the reason they didn't test you, your son, when you went to that one location, though, is
Same location.
I don't. Oh, really?
Same location.
Okay, so the deal. Well, the deal was, as you know, I mean, I was driving my little brother all over the place.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have a car and he was feeling ill. He works in the hospitality industry. Wanted to make sure before he goes back to work that he wasn't infected with COVID or
Good
anything
on
like
him.
that.
Yeah.
And it was one of these things where we were having a tough time finding any place to go to.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was like 5-hour wait, anything like that. So he had texted me, like you're sending me all these texts.
I'm like, did you try here? Did you go there? Did you?
Yeah. So Sarah sending me all these texts, and then she's like, sorry, I'm not trying to be a nuisance. I'm just trying to help you out. And I'm like, no, you're fine. But it was one of these things where my little brother had checked there, and they said they didn't check for COVID. Now, my little brother has no insurance. So I wondered if he mentioned that, and they just said, yeah, we don't do COVID testing. But you shouldn't need insurance for that,
You
right?
shouldn't need insurance for that, especially if it's you're trying to go to work. I mean, I would think that they would give you a free test. Yeah, I don't know. But I was just trying to give you like any option, anything in the local area, because I've got kids. I know what it's like to try and get into these places. And sometimes I've noticed with the pediatrician's office when I call, when it's something less than just taking them in for an annual physical, they will direct me to an urgent care instead. Because they can't do it anymore. Like they can't, they're at capacity. They can't even like regular illnesses or just routine run-of-the-mill things that you need antibiotics for.
Did you mention already that it was
That there is a better podcast. Yes, I think we've done that.
Oh, you want to hear something crazier?
Did you mention? Well, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my husband thought he had strep too. So he did the telemedicine one. And they will charge you.
Wait, they're able to test you over the phone?
They met with him over the
over
via
like
web,
Zoom or
your
whatever.
phone, basically your phone.
And then you just lick the phone, and that will tell you if you have COVID.
He said he basically gave him what was happening in the house.
Basically.
Take a drink.
Yep. And then
Coffee.
thank you. I love it. Woo! Yeah, they just diagnosed him that way and put him on an antibiotic that he actually didn't need because guess what? He had COVID too.
Wow.
I know.
So the entire family got it.
Gosh, I don't like that.
One dodged the bullet.
Now,
the oldest son.
Yeah, your oldest
didn't
son.
get it.
Now, did he? Did you guys just know? Does he seem to be just
Oh.
immune? What's the story?
So the thing that happened was since my husband had done the home test because they had just come in like the day before, he did the home test. He tested negative, and then I took the test because I went to the urgent care and they had me test positive. And he said, "Well, let's just do everybody. I've got enough. Let's just everybody do one.
Everybody gets
everybody
a
do a
test.
test."
Whee!
So we did the in-home test, and sure
lot of
enough,
tests
3
going
of the
on here.
4 of us tested
of tests.
A
positive.
lot of tests.
A lot of tests. So the 3 of the 4 of us tested positive, and then later that next week we did it again because he got more, and
He got more
and we
COVID,
all
or he
tested.
just
We
got
all
more
tested
tests?
negative. More
Okay.
more tests.
They didn't get more COVID though. He was like, he's ordering.
Not
Can
for
you
now.
order that through Amazon?
Not for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
One way or the other, I'm just glad that your whole family's good and you guys are back to normal. And it's good having you back. Actually, we actually got to talking about it because you were on deck to do the better recommendation, and we started to talk about the fact that we thought you got COVID just so that you wouldn't have to
So
do
I had
the better
avoid it.
recommendation.
Oh,
Yeah,
I really tried.
I thought you were
Worth
saying that you were
it.
happy that she was back because then you wouldn't have to talk to me the whole time.
Oh,
well, there's that too.
Yeah, there's that too. I figured as much.
You got our better rec for today, though. What is it?
I do.
Dun, da, da, da.
Okay, so you guys had an opportunity to do like the whole, New Year's resolutions, things like that, which I missed out on, but I was thinking about it. And so to me, it was like, I really want to learn something, different this year. I want to learn something new for myself. And the thing that's been going through the house lately, other than COVID, is a new language. And so, yeah. And so, both of my sons are actually in a language class right now, and
French,
one of them,
Italian, German.
Yes, they're both in German.
Speakeasy.
German?
So they're both.
Wait, no, your son's doing German. What are you trying to do?
They're both taking German, but the thing is, there's because he's been taking German for 2 years, he's eligible for this trip. So I'm actually chaperoning to go to Germany,
Ooh.
and so
Use the term
I really
chaperone.
wanted
it just made me.
to. It just is like trip for mom.
Yeah.
So trip for mom away to Germany. But yeah, so I thought, you know what, this would be a really good opportunity for me to try and learn something new, and this is really fun. He talks like that. He uses it around the house all the time, and I don't know what the hell he's saying. So I kind of want in on it.
He's probably cussing at you a little bit there.
probably is.
Maybe a little.
I don't know if that's going to be on there. So,
I've met the kid, and he's a little passive.
oh, he's going to hear this too. He's going to listen to this and be like, he said what? D'Lo called me a what?
Yeah, that's D'Lo. The views expressed of D'Lo do not
views
necessarily
expressed of D'Lo.
reflect all of those there.
So-
in the podcast.
Okay, so my recommendation, and I know that you had an app that you used last time that you were
I
recommending.
did love it.
Love it.
You still use it?
I do.
He loves the Matthew McConaughey of it. He loves everything about it.
All right. It's time to go to sleep.
Mother. Mother, brother.
So the one that I found, so in order to learn another language, I found Duolingo. Actually, my son recommended Duolingo.
Dua
app.
Lipa?
Duolingo.
Is
and
it
they've
Duolingo
got,
by Dua Lipa?
Because
Because that would be cool. You get Matthew McConaughey on the sleep app. You got Dua Lipa teaching you how to speak another language.
German, French, Italian,
Anything that
whatever
you want, really.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got over 30 languages that you can use, that you can learn, and then they've got different levels. And so what really hooked me in from the get was they told me how to order coffee. So I
Oh, yeah. Well done. Well played.
Super well played. Duolingo. Dua Lipa.
So here's my deal. Okay, so you're saying the app gives you 30 different languages.
You
Does
get
that
over
mean
30.
So like if you get the app, then
it's free.
Oh, it's free.
It's free.
Oh, really?
So you don't have
It's
to pay
free.
for anything?
There's no free.
No, and it's like little games. So
Okay.
it's so
I
they
like
build
little
on your
games.
vocab.
That's why I'm
So
single.
how
That's why I'm
are
single.
they making money? They've got to make money some way.
Why are you
I mean,
asking
are there
me that?
ads? What is it?
I haven't seen any ads yet, to be honest with you. I'm sure that there might be ads.
So they're doing
There's
this
other
as just
things that are.
Just
pure, genuine.
out of the
You're
kindness
really-
of their own.
We love,
You're really
we love
asking me-
mankind,
we
and
want
we want you to
people
be able to
to do-
communicate.
I'm just gonna say this.
Is that what it is?
Oh my gosh, I didn't research to that degree, and my fault. But
Dilo,
in terms of
how
wanting
dare
to learn
you.
like the basics,
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
it's funny because I was saying I think he's gonna Spanish Inquisition me. I should have known better. But no, so I'm sure that there is a money scheme around it. I haven't gone to that degree.
Well,
sorry.
now you're calling it a scheme. I didn't
scheme.
call it a scheme.
A money making opportunity. There has to be, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime that you download something on
Yeah.
know your apps or whatever, your app store, it always says plus app in purchase or whatever it is, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, you can get all this stuff, but if you really want the good stuff, the stuff that doesn't cut out after 10 seconds.
Which would be calm.
Yeah, right. And
So-
that doesn't sound very calming.
Yeah. So it starts out really basic and then it evolves into so many different
Basically.
things in your, before, family and then shopping and then, if you're trying to make full sentences and full conversation, like there's different levels and it builds you up as you go along. So,
So
I'm only in the beginning phase.
and that's what I was going to say. Okay, so you just started it. You're just doing German at the moment.
I'm just doing German at the moment.
Do
yeah.
you feel like you're actually retaining any of this?
They have you, so not only do you,
Germanize.
no, not
Germinate?
only, oh my God. So not only you learn how to spell
Germophobia?
things and make a sentence, which I think is helpful. And so it's a
Germanic.
lot of repetition. And then you're also learning how they like pronounce like, your vowels, which is important.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like the repetition, the spelling, and then because you have to type it in
something
yourself.
you can just like throw on in the background while you're working? Or do you actually have to pay attention?
They give you little lessons. They're like 10 little, they're broken down into like 10 little,
Steps.
steps.
one.
You get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you get to the next lesson, but you build on that and then you go down to the next level.
Also, it's like being back in math class, where every chapter
It's a
just
building
kind of
block. Yeah.
is one step. Yeah,
They
it
give
ratchets
you
itself up.
10 little questions to build on and
Yeah.
then you go to the next lesson. So every single time
I hate
you're
math
learning
class.
something new. So like now I can,
math
feel a little better about the way I'm spelling things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do you know what Dashtag means?
Well, no.
It means
Gosh.
Sanguine.
Sing.
You're going to learn later in the show.
What do you? Oh, okay.
oh,
I feel like he said Datsun, but he didn't.
you're gonna learn that.
I said Dashtag. And I could be saying it wrong because I do not have Duolingo. Is that what it's called? Did I get it right?
Yeah,
Duolingo?
Duolingo. Mm-hmm.
Dua Lipa.
Oh, cool.
Not Dua Lipa.
They also have that translate on iPhones now too.
And I'm positive. Yeah, I know that there's other apps
But
and
it
ways
sounds
to learn.
Yeah, this sounds.
I just
well,
really like that it was like a building thing.
That isn't
and you
really
can
a
do
way
it in
to
your
learn.
own time.
It's just a helpful.
Oh.
If I want to say hello in German, what do I say?
Sure,
Hello
Google Translate. Yeah,
in
yeah.
What is hello in German?
Hello.
I think it's just hallo, hallo.
I was gonna say Dankeschön, but that's not it.
That's thank you.
No,
you.
danke is
Danke is
thank you.
Danke's
Yeah.
thank.
Thank,
No,
thank,
Danke's
thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Is that
Yeah,
what Dankeschön?
Dankeschön is.
Danke's thank you. Bitte
Danke.
is please.
Dankeschön is very much though, right?
I don't know what Dankeschön is. I know the song.
I know
I
you
got
know it. I just
schooled.
want to sing the damn thing.
I got schooled by my son saying, "Oh, it's Dankeschön, right?" And he's like, "No." And I was like,
Wow,
okay,
what
well.
a jerk we.
So
It's
did
like,
he
it's
explain
just
what
Danke.
Shane means then?
Yeah, I don't think he even knew.
Sounds like he
it's
takes
just
after
Wayne
his
Newton.
dad. Just
I don't
kidding.
know.
Just kidding.
Fair enough.
Bitte is please.
I've
All
heard,
right.
You
So
know what?
bitte.
A coworker of mine though. I mean, anytime I would say Danke, he would always say Bitte.
Bitte means thank you. I mean,
no,
please.
No,
Means
'cause-
please.
Yeah, because I would
Bitte?
say thank you, but I would say it as Danke, and he would always respond Bitte, as in that's supposed to mean you're welcome, but apparently it does not mean you're welcome.
I've learned it. Yes,
So
please.
what is your welcome?
I don't know.
in
I haven't gotten
Germany?
that far.
I don't remember. I know I've heard it before.
Is it Shane?
I probably even said it sometime.
Danke Shane is thank you, you're welcome. Is it Shane?
Let's come back at episode 42.
All the
and
German-
maybe I'll have more to share with you.
All the German I know is from Hogan's Heroes. So
Oh God. Yeah, because that
Wait, you're
show,
not a fan?
I feel like he
because
needs to
that
be wearing
show
that
was
hat.
the
you're not a
Like he
fan
needs
of
to be wearing
Hogan's
the
Heroes.
hat?
Come on, Bull. I know you liked Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes was the pinnacle of
I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
no,
Really?
I've never seen
I
an
would-
episode.
I
either, to be
ser-
honest.
I would-
All I know is Colonel Klink,
I would love to watch that again.
and that show could not be made today.
No,
could not be made
it
today.
was not a woke show.
We're not talking about even just being woke. It's just like, it's just not. I don't even use the term politically correct. It's just not kind. I don't know what else to say.
fair.
That sounded almost dirty. Not kind.
Not kind.
Well, there are those shows that you can get away with making now, though, right?
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
What the hell? Which, with him, I'm always surprised when I see him on news radio.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
I loved that show.
Yeah, me too. Well, that was
And
before anybody
that's
knew
still-
who he was.
And that still, I think, kind of holds its humor and value.
would
I
you,
think it does.
Would you say that the show was really only it was only good because of Phil Hartman's influence? At the time, he was the hottest comedian, or
But he wasn't the main.
he wasn't the main, but he was kind of like a glue that held it together.
You're probably going to kick me for saying Andy Dick was pretty good in it.
Andy Dick was good. I
He was
hate
good in
Andy
it.
Dick with a
I think they
passion,
all
but I
had-
think he's funny as hell.
They're
I used
like
to
they
hate
were
him,
all unique
but it's funny now.
characters.
Yeah.
And they put like that's what
The
made it interesting
right
is they
people
were
in the right
all
place.
yes,
And
they were all unique characters and they all had their roles.
What was the station manager's name?
Mr. James.
actor.
Mr. James.
The actor, though.
Oh.
The actor. No, that's not who I'm thinking of.
I thought that was he
the
was
program
the owner.
director.
You talking about Dave Foley?
Yeah, there you go.
Dave
Yeah,
Foley.
because he was from Kids
Yeah.
in the Hall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Kids in the Hall.
It's in the hall.
Didn't they try coming back with Kids in the Hall again on HBO? I thought
They might have.
I thought they were going to try and reboot it.
I would have watched it if I have HBO.
They
Yeah.
might have. I was
One reboot that I was really excited about though was Mr. Show. It was just called With Bob and Dave. They came back with that, I think, just for one season. It was still funny. It was still like just as sharp as it
Mr.
was.
Show, God, I
back in
forgot
the
about that.
90s.
You remember when
You forgot about Mr. Show?
How would you forget about
Do you
Mr.
remember
Show?
when he used to be a spokesman
In-
for Burger King?
What?
Burger King?
Who did?
You don't remember that?
Burger King?
Who did? Who did?
Not Mr. Show. Damn it! What the hell am I
not a
thinking
real
of?
person.
What the hell am I thinking of?
You're not talking about Norm Macdonald when he was
No.
the Colonel.
Bob
No.
Odenkirk.
I'm
David
gonna
Cross.
talk amongst
Both
yourself.
are
Talk
fantastic.
amongst yourself. I'm gonna look this up. And see if I
Okay,
can
well,
find it.
speaking of Bob
'Cause I'm trying to
Odenkirk,
remember who the hell I'm remembering.
well, obviously you're not remembering.
Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill was that his name? Yeah, Mr.
That's
Bill.
Mr.
Saturday
Bill
Night
was Saturday
Live.
Night Live. It had nothing to do with.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I love it when it's his thing. It's like whatever.
Whatever, I don't
I was just excited.
But Sarah, is there a
and
paywall
that's
for
why-
Duolingo? Fuck, I don't know. No.
And D'Lo, are you excited under the desk?
So is there actually?
Say, Mr. Bill, did you know Burger King changed the Whopper? But the new Whopper has more pieces than Big Mac or Wendy's single. And beat 'em both
Almost
for
made me
best
take my coffee.
Come on, let's drop in and try one.
So does anybody actually have a reboot that you liked then?
Oh well,
I thought Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, or just with Bob and Dave. That was a good one. I thought. Sorry, I'm
no, you're
talking out
fine.
of turn.
You're fine. Do you? Okay, so
That was all I had to entertain.
well, are we talking about reboots now? Ma-ba-ba.
Newsflash: Sarah just caught up with the conversation. More at 11.
Fuck
What's up?
off.
Sanguine.
Sanguine. I'm trying, really pushing it today. Oh my god, Jesus.
I don't know. Did he make a remake? Jesus.
Jesus.
I mean, he's always
did he
he's
reboot
always
himself?
there. He's always.
I have
there.
confidence that if he was to do a
Okay.
reboot, it would be pretty awesome.
That's a hot take from D'Lo.
Oh my god. Okay. So
Okay, we'll be right
with
back after these.
You dick. Okay, so here's my thought on reboots. Now you can do the news thing. Come on. No, now you're not going to.
No.
No! No!
All right, fine.
We've been derailed.
You guys are out of control.
It's the coffee.
Go for it.
Is it the coffee? We need shots. Okay.
That's.
Shot.
I could use some Baileys.
Shots.
All right.
I don't have Baileys.
What is your take on TV and movie reboots?
Go for it.
Are they
literally.
Are they a good
I can't hear
idea,
music.
or are they just plain
No,
lazy?
he's reading verbatim, and I love it. Okay.
Girl,
Okay, as I'm watching-
I
as
led
I'm
you
watching-
down the path as much as I
Man.
could. I did. I really did.
This is tough. This is a tough one.
You kids, don't make me turn this podcast around.
Okay, so if you're looking at a reboot of something that worked.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't hit anything.
I
thought
was
you were
actually
gonna-
trying to think of something that I thought worked, but go ahead.
But if you're
I can only think of two things that I liked. Go
So
ahead.
if you're thinking
Continue.
if you're working on rebooting something that you know worked originally,
Right.
and now you're trying to bring it up to date to I don't know, current issues, are you really just using the foundation of the audience that you likes and knows that brand or platform or whatever it is to bring them up to current things? And I think about a couple of shows that I've been watching recently that are trying to do that. And it's making a lot of people uncomfortable because it's messing with the original formula.
Right.
And then it's also kind of shaking the foundation of what they thought they knew about that brand or show or program. And then it's making everybody just really uncomfortable. And the show that I see that happening is... Oh my God.
What is the shows? What are the shows?
And just like that, I'm going to go leave now.
What are the shows you're referring to?
So the Sex and the City reboot for and just like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sex and the City.
So they've really kind of shaken
What
the
pla-
foundation
what
of
platform
their
is
show.
that on?
That one is on HBO Max.
Okay, that's why I haven't seen it. Okay.
I
Oh.
keep telling you.
I watched I know. I
He
keep
just waved me off for the people playing at
but you,
home.
And I
Take another
know,
drink.
you know why I don't do
I
it.
do know why you
I
don't
know
do
you
it.
guys
I'm
don't
still
give
gonna
a
do it
I will
anyway.
shit
share
about this
I,
stuff,
I
but
will
my
share with everybody
thought
real quick. Just let me share.
Do it.
Oh my God.
I do not get HBO Plus because
Max.
I will not leave the freaking house. I
never
intentionally
asked
don't
you
do it.
to.
No. Jesus Christ.
Please.
I didn't
No,
say
I'm just
you
kidding.
asked me to.
I
The
know.
point is
Okay.
I could do that. I know I could, but I don't do that because I know it would be bad for me. Okay. So,
Sure.
Sex in the City. Tell me about it.
Okay, so
Go.
real fast.
No, you don't have to go real fast.
It used to be
We've
about
been so derailed this episode that it
maybe
doesn't
it's
matter.
not worth a thing. Okay.
No, it is. It's worth it.
Oh, is it?
Because I did watch the original series with my ex-wife a long
I
time
used
ago,
to like
and
the show as
I
it was,
liked it.
too.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
So if you were thinking about the show in its original platform,
Sarah
you know it's
Jessica
about
Parker,
four
Erica?
Yes.
women.
Indeed.
And
And we know one is missing now.
right. So it was four women, their friendships,
Wait
about 50% of that, 30% fashion, the other percent, sex,
Why
right?
you were gonna,
There's
I
a
thought you were
raised
gonna say
hand.
30% fascists. I'm like,
I-
that
No,
had nothing to
fashion.
do with
I'm raising my hand because
Fashion.
if I don't ask you this now, I will forget.
Oh, do
and I
it.
want to know, how did they address what's her name being gone?
Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her
Kim
leaving.
Cattrall.
Samantha's gone. So they said that that her and the Sarah Jessica Parker character had a falling out and that she is now over in London.
Semi-legit then, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
to life, pretty much. And a lot of this stuff that happens with their characters is true to life. Like Miranda is going through her phase where she's finding that her sexuality is more towards same gender versus, so then
Yeah.
the men are not treated kindly on this show. It's not
No?
been great. No, I don't want to spoil anything, but
That's unfortunate.
oh, yeah, from Steve, who was with Miranda.
Steve.
Okay.
Carell?
So
It's
from
not good.
a woman's perspective, do you feel like men are getting treated?
Not great.
I mean, and I'm not talking about just in the show.
In
Yeah.
general,
In general.
Oh, in general in life?
I'm
is
just-
there a tipping of the scales?
As
Is
a
that what
guy,
you're-
I'm noticing some stuff. I'm noticing some great stuff for women, which is awesome.
That's good. It's about damn time.
But I'm also seeing a lot of, and getting occasionally things where I'm like,
Yeah.
if we're all going to be on level
we're going to try and be equal, then
try to be level playing ground.
This is a conversation we have a lot in my own home. And it has to do with why does there have to be, in order to raise somebody up, why does someone have to be brought down?
Right.
And so I understand what you're saying, and I see it too. And I think they're trying to, I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it feels like the more we try to engage for people that have been either on, not of the majority, marginalized communities, it seems like there has been maybe a raising and a lowering of different, I don't know, people. Then men seem to be part of that community.
I'm wondering if it happens to be like one of those things where, God, it was in my head and now it's just like completely floated away. But
which is why I raised my hand earlier.
Let me see if I can come back to it here. So you're in, you're in one state of mind and you try to go to the other one, but you try and go to the other one so far that it's an overcorrection.
Yeah.
So that was my whole thing with this reboot is that there's it's
not saying it's an overcorrection that it's wrong. I'm just saying it's an overcorrection, like trying to address what was not addressed previously.
This is like the definition of trying to fit 50 pounds of shit in a 20-pound bag.
Wait, that's the definition of this show. I think we've got a new definition of the show.
You've got 10 episodes, and you're, just in terms of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They are hitting on everything.
Yeah.
The gender fluidity, the kids that are having sex in their family's home,
in their cities,
the kid that is in middle school and wants to have different pronouns and goes by a different name.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's a lot happening.
It's a lot to reflect in society.
And for some reason, there's 2 dicks
changes
out in one episode, and we're like, "What's happening here? That's too much." It's too much. Yeah.
We didn't get to use this. I wanted to put it in.
No!
Anyway, 2 dicks. You want to put it in? There's 3 dicks.
Yeesh. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. My computer doesn't seem to want to do its thing, so I don't know.
So anyway, I think there is a little bit of maybe an overcorrection. Oh. With respect to just trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And then the writers are not who the writers were before. And so you're just getting a whole different type of show, just in this particular case.
So it's not what the show used to be, but they're hoping that they would bring in that audience to say, to use that show as a platform to their previous audience that held out.
Yeah.
And now they're like...
They're coming back and they're really kind of rocked. Every article I read is like, oh my God, I'm so appalled. And I'm like, are you trying to educate the people that were watching this series originally for new,
that's
20,
that's like
current
what, 10
things,
to 20 years ago, wasn't it?
10 to 20. Yeah, probably 15. 20,
probably 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can change.
People can change.
I can't. But anyway, that's beside the point.
So another reboot that stayed more kind of on brand is the other one that Kim Cattrall did decide to be a part of, and that was How I Met Your Father. And that one is very similar to the How I Met Your Mother format.
I liked that show. That was a good show.
Well, and I think
obviously Bob Saget's not going to be narrating.
No, it's Kim Cattrall. She's the Bob Saget.
So overall, your review of Sex and the City was what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Watch it, but just like you're going to be. Well, for me, it was like it's kind of like you're clutching your pearls the whole time.
If you were a fan
of
the first one, you might not like it as much.
Stars.
It's
Is that kind of what I'm getting the vibe?
It's a lot of woke. There's a character on there that a lot of people are having a hard time with. The Shay Diaz character is just like over the top. Over the top.
I'll have to watch this now. I'm intrigued. Yeah. You've got me intrigued.
Okay. Well,
I'm all for trying new things. I just started watching some new shows that I haven't seen before, and
good.
Some are, hitting me in the right places, and some are just kind of like, I don't really care for it. But that's not to say that they're bad, because there's always an audience for everything.
The way that they unceremoniously killed off or moved a character on that actually died in real life, I was very disappointed.
That's unfortunate.
Like about Mr. Big or?
No, Mr. Big is still alive in real life. The person that actually died.
Oh God.
the person that actually died, the way that they wrote him out was
He was on a Nordic track.
really bad. That would have been better. It would have been better.
All right, before you get to your second review, hold on.
Oh,
I actually had this and then forgot to pull it up.
From the glitz and glamour of Hollywood to the local theater company in your hood, There Is a Better Podcast is proud to present their opinion, whether you want it or not, in another edition of... Are you not entertained?
All right, next
look at
part of your
me.
review.
I jumped it. I'm so...
No, it's okay.
Alright.
That's all right. We weren't ready. Huh.
No,
Did you
it's
just
okay.
do that?
So the only other one I was going to talk about was How I Met Your Father, which is, again, like I said, the Cattrall did commit to this show and decided to avoid the dumpster fire of her relationship with Sarah Jessica Parker to participate in this one. She's the Bob Saget of that series with Hilary Duff, I think is
That's right.
is the
I heard about
lead.
Hilary Duff being a part of the show. Yeah.
And so they do kind of parallel the characters. If you watch How I Met Your Mother, they do kind of parallel with the cast that on How I Met Your Father,
So
of the
that's-
characters that were in How I Met Your Mother.
So it's from her perspective, or no,
Yes, it's from her
From her
perspective.
perspective,
in the
same
future,
timeline.
talking to her kids.
Same timeline.
Yeah.
as the
No, not
previous
the same
show.
timeline. This is set in I'm sorry. Kimmy Cattrall is talking to her kids in 2050
Oh,
for
okay.
2022.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Hilary Duff is in the current time.
So the previous iteration of the show, How I Met Your Mother, then those kids are now the parents.
Not the same
Oh, so it's nothing
family,
to do
not
with
related
anything.
to.
It's just
the
same premise.
premise.
Oh,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay.
Different
All right.
person.
Now I know what
completely.
to expect and expect nothing.
Ooh. Why are we doing this?
Anyway,
Why are we doing
so
this?
overall, what do you
Joking.
think? Do you think it's being lazy?
I'm definitely
going
gonna watch
Do you
it.
think it's worth it? What do you think?
I think
And
Here-
I'm talking
oh.
about TV and movie reboots.
Yes.
What's your overall perspective?
I don't think it's lazy. I think it can be creative, but I also would really take it with a grain of salt.
Is there any that you can think of that, I mean, aside from Sex in the City, which you didn't really say sucked,
It's
but ones that you think are
Sucks
just
in
terrible?
the city.
There it is.
Woof.
Ba-dum-bum. Ah, jeez. Anyway.
I'm gonna keep watching it because I like it and I like the brand.
I get that.
I'm gonna keep watching it, so I'm not gonna say it's bad.
Because there's a couple I can think of that I thought were pretty good. I thought the Battlestar Galactica one was pretty good. I thought the new Mad Max was pretty good. And I'm trying to think of I liked the A-Team thing.
Wouldn't
They did an A-Team
wouldn't Star
movie
would
that I
Star
liked.
Trek fall into that
A-Team.
category?
Star Trek, I don't know.
They always have like a next generation and then like a
The-
and
the
then
ge-
like some
yeah.
level of spin-off and
the next generation. Yeah.
The next degradation.
I don't.
next
I don't know that I would
degradation.
call it. I don't think I would call Star Trek a reboot aside from the Next Generation one.
okay.
And I thought that was pretty good compared to the original because you watch the original and
It's-
really bad.
Cheesy.
Which
Hot take.
I would be
But hot
more
take.
inclined to say that anything from Next Generation on is kind of more of a franchise. I mean, that's my opinion, but
I would agree with that. I do believe it's more of a franchise. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have different characters in that
right,
world.
because Mandalorian, I don't look at that as a spin-off or not a. I don't look at that as a reboot as much as it is a spin-off.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's more of a franchise.
Right.
Franchising.
Yeah.
Merchandising.
The money grab.
All right, let's take a little bit of
Let's
a
take a
break,
break.
and we will come back and chat a little bit about the Stag.
Oh, for the love of God.
Dankeschön, the Stag. Somebody say something funny.
Yep.
Every
Every goddamn
Every-
second.
Are you guys
Second
feeling
day.
sanguine?
I am.
Sanguine.
There it is.
There you go.
There is a better podcast. We're getting to the second part of the show. We are getting low on time, but we're going to fit in what we can. And we, of course, are going to be releasing this on Monday, which is the very last day of January.
Oh.
But that means just around the corner.
The coroner?
The coroner.
Just around the coroner.
Just around the corner is Groundhog Day.
It's
Groundhog Day.
Now, I do not
Just for
want
that.
anybody in Britain. or
Okay, show's
anything
over.
like
See
that.
ya. Thanks for stopping by.
I don't want anybody in Britain or anything like that thinking that we really absolutely love Groundhog Day here in North America, but it's Groundhog Day. It is one of those times where, it's actually only a North American tradition, not only observed here in the U.S., but also in Canada. And it's held every February 2nd or February.
This just in.
Oh, that's what she said.
Now February, we've talked about that before. February is a word that I intentionally will not say as it should be said.
I thought you
But
were just going to say just
when
not
I
say in
when I
general,
say
which is
February,
fine.
because I do say February. Yeah, and I know it drives people nuts, but I
Say
think,
that again?
I think the word February sounds stupid, so I just don't do it.
Well then,
This just in.
Yes.
D'Lo says
February
February
is stupid.
because February is stupid.
It doesn't need to be said February. That's all I'm saying. That's a Midwestern thing, by
Tell
the
me about
way,
that woodchuck.
to say February. I believe, isn't it? Isn't that a Midwestern thing?
I don't know.
Holy shit, derailed already. Groundhog's
D-Lo
Day.
derailed.
Groundhog's
D-Lo
Day
derailed.
happens
It's a
every
new segment.
February,
February.
the 2nd, and derives its name or derives from Pennsylvania Dutch superstition that if a groundhog emerging from its burrow on the 2nd of February, if it sees its shadow due to clear weather, that means that it will retreat back into its den and winter will persist for another 6 more weeks. Now, if it doesn't see its shadow, what happens?
It's Groundhog. Oh,
No.
No, it means spring arrives early.
Not right.
So,
That's what that means. Ooh,
and
coffee.
the funny thing is it has been insanely cold. So I am all about the groundhog not seeing its shadow. Is that what we want? That's what we want. Yeah.
We don't want him to see his shadow because he will stay out, which means he's not going back in, which means it's not going to be 6 more weeks of winter.
Now, back in the day, we used to have you guys remember being young, and we used to just get tons of snow. Seems like the East Coast is getting hit like crazy right now, or has been over the past month or so. We really haven't gotten a lot of snow here in the Great Lakes state. The
Now
Great
to
Lakes state, of
D'Lo
course,
for
is
the
Michigan.
weather.
Okay.
I feel like we get the cold. We definitely get the cold, but we don't get as much
Well, and that's the
accumulation.
thing. It's
Like, it starts getting
has
cold
seemed insanely
January.
cold this
Yeah.
year to me.
It has been very cold.
It
It's
has
cold in
been
our
cold.
it's
Sometimes
cold in our
it's
podcast arena here.
Isn't it possible for it to be too cold to snow?
Well, that was the
know.
thing. It took every bit of energy I had in me this morning to come over here to do this
To
podcast.
Get out into the cold.
And because it was so damn cold outside.
Yeah, it's true.
And even around my house, you're walking around, a hoodie and everything else on. It's just ridiculous. So I am so ready and hoping that the groundhog even though we know better,
It's bullshit.
it doesn't mean a damn thing.
It's all just
The whole
bullshit.
The whole tradition actually goes back to. Are you ready for it?
Tell us.
Dashtag.
Oh.
Dashtag. Yeah. Dashtag.
That was the one I was looking for.
That is apparently from the Germans. And what they expected or what they utilized was a badger. Same concept, but with a badger.
Badger.
Yep. And now, Groundhog Day Ceremony, it is, of course, become well known here in the States because of Punxsutawney in Pennsylvania. And, of course, the name of the groundhog is... Come on, somebody's got to know.
Phil.
Phil.
Damn
that is
you,
right.
it's Phil.
Punxsutawney
Phil.
And it became even bigger in 1993 when the film Groundhog Day came out, featuring who?
Never seen it. Just
Bill.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
That's Bill Murray.
Andy
yeah.
McDowell
Bill
also,
Murray?
also had one of Tony's favorites in it, Chris Elliott.
Chris
he was in
Elliott.
it.
I love Chris Elliott.
You
so
would.
the premise of the movie, of course, is that Bill Murray gets stuck in a time loop, and he is just a curmudgeon of a weatherman. So he kind of does this half-hearted story on Punxsutawney Phil, and I think by the end of the first day, what happens? I think he gets arrested, doesn't he? Isn't that what happened?
Later on, he gets arrested for like driving on the tracks, and he's like drunk and stuff like that.
So he ends up in jail.
He does end up in jail. That's
Not the first
one
day.
of the right. It's one of the days.
But
day
I'm talking about the very first time where he wakes up and all of a sudden he's like, "What happened? I was in jail." Isn't that what happened? The very first time?
The very first time he just went and did his normal thing as it was, and then when he woke up the next
He keeps
day,
waking up
it was
too?
it was the same thing.
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher.
I got you, babe, which cracks me up.
Yep. And then the same.
But he's like,
banter
you're
on the
playing
radio.
yesterday's tape, guys. Nice job. And then it's Groundhog Day. And then he looks outside, and it's exactly the same as it was. Everybody's running out to Gobbler's Knob or whatever the place, whatever
No, that's
the name
it.
of that.
You got it right.
Well, that's a terrible name, by the way.
It's what they call it.
What was kind of cool about it, but was by the time he's done,
Knob
he of
gobblers.
course has completely
It's
improved.
disgusting.
It's awful.
He has completely improved who he is, and he manages to get all these different
Skills,
yeah,
appreciation.
Yes.
like the ability to play
piano.
Now, there.
To play piano as an adult.
I think he just
Learn
all sorts of
how to
cool things.
I think somebody had mapped it out where they figured out how many days, how many weeks, months, years that he spent in
Right.
Punxsutawney.
I think you told me this.
It was like 27 years.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
If you relive the same day for 27 years,
with no consequences though.
but-
That's the beauty of it.
Okay. But like you were saying before, aren't you tired of this cold weather?
Yeah. For
For
27 years.
27 years in that
years.
bitter
Yeah.
cold?
Yeah.
No way.
and the thing is, like, he didn't realize it, but as it went on, he had to
I'm pointing
improve.
my fingers in your face. I'm sorry.
Right.
He had to improve himself, though, and that was
Yes,
the whole. That,
that
was
was
the
a
whole.
whole
And of course,
journey.
there were
Right.
a couple times where he tried to kill himself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, will this day
Well,
ever end?
And, right.
But
blah,
it-
blah, 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 blah.
Could we try this tomorrow? Love this
But it does
therapist.
beg the
Yes.
question, is there a day in your life you would either want to relive and or something you would like to have the opportunity to try to do better? I could not think of anything that I regret enough that I would want to do it better. I can think of things that I want to
Good for
forget,
you.
things that I want to forget, but not necessarily do better. I can't think of anything. So
Is that like a. Okay.
no, that's our episode per episode content strike.
Okay. I was just making
Yeah,
sure.
we're just trying to follow
just-
suit.
We've got to do something
Keeping
every
with
episode
it.
so that we get a content strike.
Every episode. This is it.
So I
Way to
couldn't
go,
think
guys.
of
Playing the
anything,
same tape again.
and here's the weird thing is I finally got to thinking about it. The one day that I would want to relive over and over, or have the chance. I'm not going to say over and over because that'd be too much.
If you could just relive it a few
Just
times.
one more time.
Just
Sure.
one more time.
Oddly enough, even though I'm divorced, would be my wedding day.
Aww.
Was it a good time? It was that good of a time?
It was one of those times where I felt connected to the person I was married. So
Yeah.
and I mean, and I could always,
I would hope so.
I can always
because
bring it
that-
back to
why
this
else you married?
one awesome moment, and it was after we had already gotten married because we were down in Jamaica,
Okay.
and
You got married in Jamaica?
Yep,
Nice.
and we got done. And it was kind of an exhausting day. We didn't have like a lot of friends or anything like that around with us because we just went down there on our own. We had friends we had made there, but there was this point where everything got really kind of quiet because we were walking around the island, and we had a point where we just kind of laid in this hammock,
Yeah.
and you could just see like this stars. I mean, it was just like that's all you could see up there.
Yeah.
And it was just so quiet, and it was just one of those moments where it almost felt, it was sublime. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just one of those moments where you were like, if I could take a picture of this and just hold on to it, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you also kind of ruin it by thinking, if I could take a picture of this, and but it gave me the ability to remember that moment, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. Being really, really present.
I was really, really,
really,
present,
really
and I
present.
felt really, really connected to
Connected.
her.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was just one of those things where it was a beautiful thing, and that's what I loved. Yeah.
There you go.
Right. Oh.
And we heard a lot of that stuff.
I didn't know you had a destination wedding. I did as well.
Oh, did you?
I did. Yep.
Did you?
Yep. I got married in Las Vegas.
So,
Ooh la la.
would that be your
But that's
time?
not,
Would that be
That's
the
not
day?
the day.
It was
Would be
great.
that'd be
it
your
was
pick?
great, but no, I would say what is it with the tropical situation? But Aruba. I loved going to Aruba.
Oh.
We went there for our 10-year, And it was something about exactly what you're talking about, like the color. For me, it was like the color of the water, and the sand was super soft, and just it really was just like being there and being present and allowing myself to just enjoy, like really, really being there. And of course, the person that I was with, my husband, and just
just some random person. Okay.
I know he's gonna listen to this and be like, Jesus Christ.
Just in case my husband's listening, it was you.
Yeah. We've only I did say 10-year anniversary. What the hell?
Was a blow-up doll also part of your carry-on?
I could just see the situation where he's listening to it and he's like,
what the fuck?
Sarah, who are you talking about? We didn't go to Aruba.
Anyway, what you're talking about, the whole setting, we had like a first floor suite, which some people were like, oh, you want the balcony so you can have the view? Nope. First floor suite, because all you had to do was open that sliding glass door, and there's everything.
Oh,
there's the ocean, and there's only so many chairs for all the people that were staying at this
first
particular
dibs.
For this boutique hotel. Like, there were only the chairs set up for the people that were staying at this hotel. So it's like you open the door, you go right out, everything's right there, and it was super beautiful.
I will say that we also
and just the sound of the water and the wind, and all you heard.
We also had some adventures too. So
you did adventures?
Yeah, on the balcony and in the HUD.
Okay. That's fair. You're supposed to do that.
Those are adventures.
That was a lot of
You're supposed
fun.
to enjoy. Yeah.
Tony,
you're a very adventurous person.
You ever go to the Bahamas or anything like that?
Are you kidding me? I am Mr. Travel Genius. No,
Got your passport.
The furthest
stamped?
out I've been out of the U.S. Was Toronto, Canada.
Wow, you went completely the opposite way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, there was a Chili Peppers concert back in, I think it was 99. I had to so here's something funny. If my boss from 99 is listening right now, I'm sorry. I took a day off because I said that I this is true actually. I had to go to the doctor for something on my feet and whatever. Anyway, and so I asked for like 2 days off for recuperation. Well, that day I also went to Toronto to watch the Chili Peppers in a free concert downtown Toronto. So it's standing room only. We left at like 6 a.m, I think, something like that, and we headed out. We had a great time. It was a fucking sweet ass show though. Free show, middle of downtown Toronto. And I just remember Anthony Kiedis like climbing the stage rafters or whatever you want to call it, and like standing on top and just looking out over everybody, and the crowd went wild, and people had their like faces plastered against the glass in the buildings, that were lining the streets. Much Music was there. I don't even know if Much Music is still a thing anymore. Did it go the way of MTV and just die off?
That was like a channel, right?
That's
Much
the
Music
Canada's
is the
version
Canadian
of
MTV.
MTV, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Theirs was, so MTV's was Matt Pinfield, Canada's was Pat Minfield.
No. No.
This just in. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit your. I don't know if that was Rick or Morty.
You hit Morty, and he's looking like he is.
D-Lo's got some Rick and Morty slippers going on here because it's cold. You're gonna peel back the curtain a little bit. We're in the basement. You probably have heard that on a couple episodes before, but we're in the basement of my establishment. That's where our quote unquote studio is, and it's cold as fuck down here. Like, even just saying that, it fogged up my glasses. Just like, F. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
There it goes again.
You can see your breath.
Yeah, I can see.
That cold. It's not that cold.
It's not that cold. This is cold enough.
My hands are cold though.
Cut that.
So the Chili Peppers, that'd be your day to relive, or at least one of them?
Can I add? Can I break?
That was a fun fucking day. Go ahead. Get in there. Hop in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a fun day. I was there.
You were there. You were there.
And you know what we missed
Sarah,
out?
you and I go back a long
time. What was happening at our work, because we actually worked at the same place at that time, was President Clinton was visiting.
Actually, no, I wasn't working there at that time.
Oh, you weren't?
I was working for the ballpark down the street from where you were working.
Oh, okay.
at.
Well,
Yeah.
where I was working at then, President Clinton was coming that day, and they had Secret Service all over that week because they were preparing for him to be on campus.
He was
I
stumping
actually
them for-
was.
yeah.
I
Were you
saw
working
that.
there?
No, I saw.
you saw it.
I
Okay.
saw
that.
him on that campus.
You mean you saw
Okay.
it?
As we all dance around what it is and where
It
we
is,
are.
and where we are.
Well, if you haven't picked
the
up
area.
on that.
Well, anyway, it was so it was a good day to be away because the campus was,
It was.
the place was crawling. Sorry, I just said it.
It was pretty cool.
The place was crawling with Secret Service.
Secret Service,
and
yeah.
it was nuts. So it was nice to get away for that day, and it was a great show.
That was an awesome show.
show.
I would definitely relive that day. That was super fun.
Sounds like it would be a good one.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to drive either.
I can think of quite. I can
so
think
that's
of,
even better.
You were
Quite a
white
f-
knuckling it the whole way.
I can think of quite a few concerts that I'd want to relive.
I
So
wasn't driving my car.
Exactly. Yeah. You were driving this behemoth. At the time, it was like probably the largest.
Beast mode.
Yeah, it was, and you're like, I don't know this because you normally drove a Geo Metro.
A Geo Metro, which is the size of
donut-
your fist.
or an egg on donuts is what you used to
Yeah,
call it.
and it had 3 cylinders.
Three. Yeah, it was a
It
three
did.
banger.
It literally did.
Yeah, and so this one was a Blazer, a Chevy Blazer,
Right.
96, I think it was. Anyway,
could have been, I
so
don't know.
if you compare the little Geo Metro to this gigantic SUV, it was basically
chevy.
driving a house.
For me, yeah.
But you did well.
Okay,
You were white knuckling it, I could tell.
I'm sure I was.
Yeah. And who eventually became your husband. You weren't married at the time, but
Right.
he came along with us.
Yes.
And he was kind of spotting, checking left and right when we were going through
I don't remember
toll
all
booths
that.
and stuff like that.
Believe
He's
it.
like, you're fine. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go. And you just floor it. And he's like, you're fine.
I'm not.
He's
I
in the
wasn't
passenger
used to.
seat. I'm in the back seat.
I wasn't used to the gas pedal doing anything at that time. That's
oh,
why.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause I had a
You just
5-speed,
floored it.
and it would take me forever to get into 5th because my car did not go at all.
I'm surprised that when you both went up north. So for those who don't live in Michigan, there are 2 peninsulas of the state of Michigan, and the UP is a place unlike anything else, but you have to cross the Mackinac Bridge. The Mighty Mac is what we call it here. And if you're in a car that small, like there have been stories about the Yugo flying off of the bridge.
Yep.
And so that's about the same size as what you were driving at that time. And I
it
bet that
was.
was a harrowing escape.
It was I cried. I'm not even joking. I was terrified.
I can't go across that on my own.
I was
have not
terrified.
done
Really?
that, really.
I was like, this is a bad choice. This is a real bad choice in this vehicle.
Right.
you aren't really scared of heights.
Hope
or
we
anything,
make
though,
it.
right?
I'm not necessarily scared of heights, but I think we've talked about this before.
Just
about
scared of
phobias.
windy bridges.
What the weird
You just
thing
never
is,
know.
I think I love architecture and stuff like that. I think
It's a
bridges are
suspension
fucking
bridge, right?
amazing, but
Oh, suspension bridge.
it's a phobia. Hold on, it's called megalophobia. I think we talked about
I
this
think you
once
did,
before, but it's a fear of large objects. I'm talking like gigantic objects. Which is weird because I love
We've
New
hung
York.
out in New York. I don't understand how that.
But it's a normalizing factor because
You can see
everything is fucking huge.
Yeah, but you can see those buildings swaying. You've
Yeah.
seen that, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't freak you out.
No, because again,
That
looking
would that freaks me out more.
Are
than
you
bridge.
afraid of heights?
No,
You're not
at
afraid of
all.
heights.
I'm not afraid of heights. No,
Okay, and you're not afraid of heights.
I'm not afraid of large objects.
It
either.
depends.
I've got to deal.
Jesus.
yeah.
I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah.
all right, Diggles.
Thank you.
It
Terrified.
must come with the territory, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I have a thing about heights. It doesn't completely like scare me to the nth degree. I would feel uncomfortable. Like when we were on top of the Empire State Building, I was fine. But there's also, guards and shit like that to prevent you from falling over. Now, if it was like on the edge, like if you're standing on the edge of a table and your table is 1,000 feet plus up, okay, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit scared.
Well, and
because there's nothing to prevent me from falling to my
I think
death.
I've mentioned it before,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm not scared of heights, but I got on my roof last summer.
Oh my God, that's
I had
terrifying.
to do some repairs. Doesn't really bother me
Yeah.
once I'm up there, but I am scared of falling.
Yes,
So
that's the fear.
That's the
one.
fear.
so there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
also gone-
rational fear. By
You've
the way,
also gone to like Cedar Point and stuff like that too. For those who aren't in the area,
the Midwest.
the Midwest, Cedar Point in Sandusky,
Sandusky, Ohio.
and it's very similar to Kings Island. What's the other one? Six Flags.
Oh,
There's
like
a bunch
a
of Six Flags.
yeah, because they've got thrill rides.
Right.
You're talking about thrill rides.
Thrill rides and amusement park, rides and stuff like that. And they have Snoopy area, and they have. I think they used to have Jellystone. Does anybody know
Jellystone?
Jellystone?
Do they? Yeah,
Okay.
it's in
Is that what they still
it's
call
in
it?
Pennsylvania.
Is it still called that?
Or is it? I don't remember where it's at. But yeah, they do have Jellystone.
Sanguine.
Rhymes with penguin.
What were we talking about?
I think we were talking about.
We were talking about the show,
day?
about everything and nothing,
Nothing all at
once.
once. Oh, okay.
Hey,
Hey, are you still listening?
hope we brought a little bit of humor to your day. We're gonna wrap it up just because we've been
Rambling.
we got things to do,
Rambling.
man.
Bye.
And you got things to do.
No, you don't. That's
One
why
way
you're
or the
listening to
other.
us.
If you like us, love us, or hate us, we'll come back
Fuck
to
you.
that. Actually, I'm D'Lo.
Oh, that was not how
I'm
that
Sarah.
works. Oh yeah, I'm Tony. Right.
And you can always get in touch us get in touch us.
You can touch us.
You can touch us and
Well,
feel
You can
us.
email
and
us.
Email us too.
There you go.
Yeah. How would you do that, Tony?
What are we doing? Which are we doing?
Email?
Or we do? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can do email. There is a better podcast at gmail.com.
You can always hit us up on Twitter. That's at There Is a Better, the number 1. And finally, get us on the Insta through.
There is a better podcast.
My name's D'Lo.
Sarah.
Tony.
And like us, love us, or hate us, one way or the other, we are proof that there
There is a better podcast.